Good afternoon once again, and thank you for joining us wherever you are. And welcome to the third session today about Global R&DB Dissertation Review. This is the session 3 that we are having, and for the next 1 hour or so, we will have a number of presenters, 6 presenters lined up for quite interesting presentations. And Professor Han is going to take over and moderate this session for the next 1 hour or so. Please welcome Professor Han. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Lincoln. Welcome everyone. This is session number 3. We are going to talk about 6 papers related to our dissertation and our research works. We have our alumni and our current student have done for the past couple of years. This session is, I think, very meaningful because all these papers contain all the efforts and energy of your PhD studies. Okay, so I think today we have 6 research papers, and these research papers are encompassing like various aspects of technology, digital platform, and behaviors. Okay, and these papers are talking about their impacts on different domains such as education, e-commerce, job quality in the gig economy, and smart parking systems. Okay, so please welcome everyone. Now each paper has 10 minutes of presentation, so I'd like to ask you to have 8 to 9 minutes of presentation, and at the end of each presentation, I'd like to have 1 minute of Q&A if there is any. Okay. All right. The first paper is a presentation is Dr. Albayati, Haider Albayati from KAIST ITTP. Please welcome him with a big applause.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Professor Han, for this nice intro. And if you let me, I can share my screen. Hopefully everyone can see my screen now. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So I gonna start with the 10-minute. Thank you, everyone. And let me just, minimize the screen. So thank you for having me here today. I will talk about one of my research is related to social science research related to NFT and metaverse. So the research topic is assessing engagement decision in NFT metaverse based on the theory plan behavior. This research published in February 2023 in journal Telematics and Informatics. So this is our table of content, and I will start with background. So when we start, I'm trying to explain 2 important significant questions about why this study is important. First, I will explain what is the NFT and metaverse in short term, and then I will go to talk about why we're interested about to study them together. First, NFT is non-fungible token. It's a unique digital asset representing the ownership of specific item or content on blockchain. So it's using blockchain technology. The metaverse, on the other hand, is a virtual environment, interconnected digital universe where people can interact, work, socialize, and create an impressive virtual environment. Both together can do a significant role. So NFT play a significant impact on metaverse, where they facilitating the establishment of the ownership, the digital ownership, and also the trade in digital form. Collectively, they are reshaping the way we interact with digital content and its environment. So why we interested in study NFT and metaverse? First, since the establishment of blockchain in 2008, it has a significant innovation and growth. And metaverse also has disrupted various fields, technology, economics, laws, market dynamics, and environmental impact. So did a lot of impact in different kind of fields. However, still the number of research is limited. And that gives us opportunity to discover a new discoveries or the new research in the field. So this is the gate of why I interested in this field, because there is a huge opportunity to add new things to the social science in this topic. So now we talk about the current market practices. first explain the Gartner hype cycle for emerging technologies in 2022 shows the metaverse in innovation trigger and showing the NFT in the peak of inflated expectations. So the two technologies actually reaching a high interest on the market, and they are growing. So it's a good time to study them and see what is the gap or what we can do here in time to improve or give some implementation or give some recommendation for future research or for industry. So current market practice revolutionize the ownership and trade. So both technologies can help for digital ownership and trade the virtual assets. So both of them are actually very good in this manner. So also empowering new opportunities for creator. So creator are actually like artists, musicians, or writers. All of them now, they can trade their creative in the virtual form. Ensuring transparency and security. Because of blockchain technology, we will now be able to secure the ownership and be a transparent environment with the digital form. Liquidity and scalability. Also, availability is part of this environment where this technology become transparent and trade fairly for everyone all around the world. Everyone can access the technology. So, however, what's happening here, the market, complicated or complex engagement with high fluctuation is the current situation. What that means by that, even there is a high despite of adoption for NFT, there is a huge decline happen in the usage. So within the year between 2021 and 2022, the number of transaction happened. What that means is like kind of transferring ownership or sell or buy. It's declined from 175,000 to 24,000. The volume of trade for 111 million to 42 million only. So it's showing around 90% decline within 1 year. And that doesn't happen just in this year. This is fluctuating, happen all the time where the NFT created. So all the time there is a fluctuating on the market. And this picture showing two different graphs. One of them show the sales volume, how it's declined, and the other one show the number of user registration, also a decline. So this is in 1 year, we can see a big changes happen in market. As we said, it's not happened one time, it's happened many times during the establishment of NFTs. So now we go to the research goal and questions. So first, this research examines the factor that influencing user decision to participate, invest, or create inside the NFT metaverse. So we employ the extended model of theory plan behavior with 5 extra constructs. This study considers various perspectives. We try to make comprehensive research by focusing on customer, social, technology, legal, and market perspectives all together in one research. And we formed 3 important questions. First one, what the factor that influenced user decision to engage in NFT metaverse, and whether that trade or engagement is actually trustworthy or not. And it's legal to use that because people also consider about legal consideration, and we can see if government can involve or not. So research design and methodology. So the study imply SCM structural equation modeling for designing the model, and we use extended model of theory plan behavior, proposing 9 construct and 15 hypotheses. So this is our research model with this 9 construct and 15 hypotheses. And our result, how we talk about the research result, we apply this research for 2 weeks online survey, including 32 research questions, 5-point Likert, and 9 demographic questions. We collect 459 respondents worldwide. That analysis, we use PLS SCM with a smart PLS 4, and we apply different statistical tests like path coefficient, convergent validity, internal consistent reliability, and discriminated validity. So the results showing the internal consistent reliability established for all construct convergent validity established for all measurement items, discriminated validity established for all construct, and also the path analysis estimated and p-value accepted the all hypotheses. This is the reflection on the smart PLS4 and the result of the model. And we talk now about the implication and conclusion, the last part of our presentation. So the theoretical implication, social influence play an important role in shaping the user behavior in NFT metaverse, impacting actors, motivate, and believe and trust. Technology directly affect user behavior, belief, trust, market stability, and reputation. Regulation positively influence market behavior and assure importance of regular enforcement in NFT metaverse. The market condition, reputation, and stability significantly influence user behavior and beliefs. Trust is a central factor for user engagement as a direct impact intentions and behavior. On the other hand, the practical implication, because we are doing a practical research, the social connection and social media promotion should be integrated into NFT metaverse to boost engagement. Technology blueprint strongly affect user behavior with improving the user-centric design and service quality. Regulation play a significant role in monitoring and managing NFT metaverse adoption. Market condition, stability, reputation have a profound influence on user decision. And last, trust is a crucial element for user confidence and enhancing transparency and security platform design. Our conclusion come to this research identify the key factor that influence user engagement in NFT metaverse. So we highlight what is important things that in research field and industry field they can focus on whenever there is NFT engage with metaverse, and that will reflect on the market. They need to focus about the factor that we highlight here. And this study demonstrates significant effect of this factor on user engagement behavior, providing valuable insight. So our insight also is good as a recommendation for future research and future implementation of technology. User and stakeholder can utilize these findings to make informed decision and guide future development in NFT metaverse and industries. So in general, what we did here, we're trying to reflect the use of both technology together as emerged technologies and see how they reflect on social life or social people or people behavior. And this results show a significant impact on all this hypothesis and construct, which reflect a successful research. Thank you for everyone. I hope I finish within the 10 minutes. Thank you, and waiting for your question.
Thank you, Dr. Albayati. Thank you for your punctual, punctual presentation. Okay, is there any question from the floor? If you can ask later if you have a time. Then Dr. Albayati, I have a quick question. Okay, so this paper was published, so I don't have much question about the paper. But as you have shown, the NFT market has been going down dramatically since currently. So I have heard a lot about the metaverse, last maybe until the beginning of this year. But I've not heard much about the metaverse. What do you think about the market of the metaverse in the near future and in the long run?
Okay, thank you, Professor Han, for this question. Actually, there is very promises market in the future. Yes, both technology actually in the level where they are under investigation, research, and don't have very huge adoption. That's why we are doing this research in time to see whether we can do some boost for these technologies. Mm-hmm. Yeah, nowadays all the technical companies, including Apple, Samsung, all around the world, including Facebook, all they're fighting for this virtual environment, trying to boost the usage of metaverse. And whenever the mature level of using metaverse is reached, then NFT and blockchain become very important part of this technology, because they cannot really secure any ownership. They cannot secure any kind of identity, personality inside the metaverse unless there's a trustful technology which can provide all this virtual and provide all this ownership secured inside of the platform. And that cannot be done without blockchain, cannot be done without NFT. That's why this technology maybe is fluctuating now, because people not really aware much about the impact and not regulated much. The market not ready, technology is under development. So all this level can be improved later on the future. And I think in the near future, 5 to 10 years, we can see metaverse everywhere.
Okay, thank you for your insightful comments. Okay, now Roy, you have a question?
Yes, yes. Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to ask question with Dr. Albayati. Anyway, this is an interesting topic, and then research you have done so far. As you know, theory of planned reason is suggests that behavior is determined by intentions, attitudes, even beliefs about the behavior and subjective norms, even belief about others' attitude towards behavior. What do you think is the gap of this two between the NFT, the non-fungible
Fungible token, yeah.
token, and then to the metaverse and to the social media environment nowadays?
Okay, so if we talk about the theory plan behavior and the relation or the gap between it and the technology level. So theory plan behavior actually is respective theories, and the only gap here, because this theory cannot cover all aspects. We know, like all our research, we know the development of technology with the fourth industrial revolution, it's opened a new perspective where people cannot really use only the old tradition theories alone. That's why we integrated with the new factor or new construct, where this construct can implement it and can give us a new insight, where a new perspective of like social science research, behavioral research, integrated with the new like construct, as we did here. We talk about market, technology, and regulation, and different perspective, where all of them can be supported by the same theory to get insight about our result. So yeah, the gap is big in both, but we try to reduce that by adding extra construct to make a validated research in this field. I hope this like answer your question.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you, Dr. Haider. Now I think we better have a question at the end of all the presentation, because we have some time limitations. Okay, let's make thank you, Roy, and thank you, Dr. Albayati, for your nice presentation and question. Now let's move on to presentation number 2. Dr. Ida Widiarta from SNU ITPP alumni, head of Enterprise Information System Laboratory of University of Mataram. Please welcome him with a big applause.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I'd like to introduce myself briefly. My name is Ida Widiarta. I came from the center part of Indonesia in small island called Lombok, the island next to Bali. Today, I want to talk about AI-based smart parking system. It is a study based on a case in my university, which is University of Mataram. This is ongoing research actually. What is the background of this research? In Indonesia, the main transportation is motorcycle. Based on data of Center of Statistics Agency, there are 125.3 million motorcycles in 2022, with growth around 5 million units per year. Almost 90% of students in Indonesia, actually in UNRWA, use motorcycle to go to the campus. So there are around 3,600 motorbike parked on the university, the UNRWA campus every day. It is impossible for security guard to recognize all students and the vehicle they use. So there is a risk of lost state in several local newspaper like here. Several efforts have been made to avoid losing motorbikes, such as installation of automatic portal. However, this thing cause traffic jam on the gate. Checking the vehicle registration is carried out only essentially. So it make congestion occurs when the check is being carried out. The chance of loss is quite big because it is done incidentally. So there is a trade-off between security and congestion. In this study, we fulfill this gap by making a system that assure the security without the congestion. Many previous research related to this research have been carried out, such as research on OCR, optical character recognition, use various methods to recognize patterns. Face recognition, use various methods, the most popular of which is deep learning. During the COVID pandemic, research was carried out on the face recognition using mesh. Currently, we are researching helmet facial recognition combined with OCR to recognize vehicle number plate that are used as a pass to exit the parking lot. So we are here now. This is our plan to conduct this research. The first one, install a portal without bar to at entrance and exit without with rumble strip to slow down the vehicle. But here we have no portal bar. In this study, we recognize the driver face and vehicle registration plate using AI. If it is not registered in system or failed to recognize, it will inform the campus security officer at the main gate. Campus security officer will only check the vehicle that are not recognized by the system and driver and or motorbike plate that are not registered. The objective of this study to find out the alternative solution to avoid losing motorbike, reducing traffic jam in front of the gate, and implementing helmet face recognition and optical character recognition as a security code for entering and leaving the on-ramp gate. This is our model. The rider and the motorcycle will recognize the helmet face using deep learning, and the vehicle license plate using OCR. So the face will recognize, and the plate license will recognize using OCR, and this we use a deep learning to recognize the face of the driver. This model already registered as copyright and granted on September 17 this year. Okay, this research is this is the step that we did to conducting the helmet face recognition, and we use to model here using CNN architecture to recognize person who use helmet. And the second picture is the framework of easy OCR, yeah, that we use to recognize the character of plate registration number. This is our result. We use in this study, we use video, and from the video, we use hard cascade face detection to get the face on the video, and we use CNN model to recognize the face of the driver. Here we have the driver, and this the name of the driver. And the second model is to recognize the plate license of the motorcycle. We use easy OCR framework with YOLO version 8. However, our model is not perfect and has increased to success the rate to recognize. Here is the result. This is the result of helmet face recognition, and this is the result of OCR. We use two model in helmet recognition, and we have a accuracy about 51%, and recognized of OCR we get about 91%. So we can conclude that accuracy of helmet face recognition it reach 86%, and the accuracy of license plate recognition reach 91%. This model is worth continuing to implement, although accuracy must still be improved to reduce the workload of campus security officer at the exit gate. The next step in this research is to combine two models, helmet facial recognition and number plate recognition, to determine who can leave campus without being checked. I think that's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ada Widiart. Nice presentation, and thank you for your punctual presentation. Even though we are punctual, we are a little bit behind of our schedule. So let's move on to next paper, to presentation number 3, Dr. Ilham from KAIST ITTP alumni. Thank you, Dr. Widiart.
Thank you, Professor Han.
So it's really good to see you all. Thank you, Professor, for having me for this presentation today. And I don't know if it is too early in the morning in Morocco or too late at night. It's a bit early in Morocco. So basically, I had the honor to present this paper when last year at the same conference, but back then it was a research in progress. And today I'm presenting the full essay that has been published recently. So my title is E-commerce Capability and CEU Attributes Impacts on Export Performance. The paper is based on the recent studies that have been made over the efficiency of investing in e-commerce technologies to investigate its performance on export. And literature has been, over the last 2 decades, has been arguing on the fact that as much as we put into investment in e-commerce, it doesn't seem to appear as efficient or impactful on exporting. So this investigation has been also consolidated by many scholars that have seen that the ICT resources has failed several companies to achieve their performance goals. So the idea was to take on a different perspective on this topic, adding new data to the analysis and see if with gathering more data and more information around the company and the managing team of exporting on the company will yield the same results or will be different. So we based our theoretical background on 2 theories that are known in this field, which is the resource-based view. And we draw from another theory, which is the upper echelon theory, to see how can the CEO of the company or the higher rank in the company has a saying on the investing on technologies, as well as redirecting it to achieve impactful performance on exporting. So our objective was 3-layered. The first one is to see to what extent e-commerce capability affect the performance overall, and then to see how these interactions between these technologies and the CEU characteristics influence exporting, and by seeing these 2 aspects, how the overall interaction impact the financial successes of the firm, which was captured by the firm value. The takeaways of literature are on these 3 bullet points. The first one is not all companies do exporting the same way. Each company has its own way and or objective on how to succeed in exporting. It could be to be to place their product on a new market, or to have another share market for its own marketing purposes. Also, when we see as the company as resources or through the lenses of the resource-based view theory, we can see that having this kind of resourceful capabilities for the firm are not necessarily only leverageable by the e-commerce capabilities, but has also to do with the managerial abilities of the firm. And the other point that we took from the literature is that not necessarily technology that is oriented towards exporting is the one that we like cross-border e-commerce that we should investigate, but any presence of e-commerce capability, even if the local addresses the local market, is important to take because of one of a lengthy study conducted by Boston Consulting Group revealed that the most of domestic e-commerce has a hidden component to achieve international goals. So these were the main setting or the context for this study is that we took available data in the US. We studied multinational corporations, and we went from the fact that the US trade was following a trend of decline. And we know that the most powerful companies in the world are US companies, and the most powerful CEOs on the world are, or influential, are the US CEOs. So we had aimed for publicly available information, and we aimed to study the S&P 500 companies from the year 2000 to 2020. And one of the technicalities of the paper is we were missing the e-commerce capability on the financial information of these companies. So to fix this lack of data, we did the fixed mining of financial reports of SEC filings of these companies. And we followed the CRISP methodology to gather the data that we needed. And we suggested in this figure 2 a proposed step to how to text mine data from financial statements and make it usable in economic models for theoretical research and to endorse theoretical models or empirical models. I will skip the hypothesis. We can discuss it in the chat, or I will have a Q&A question with you later. But the most important information that I want to share today is all of our assumptions that even though e-commerce capability is directed toward exporting, it's not necessarily the case and doesn't yield necessarily the expected results. We noticed that in our results that when we studied e-commerce direct effect on exporting, that all exporters, when they have e-commerce capability, it's more to reinforce domestic sales rather than using it to exporting, unless we investigate the upper echelon team in the company, which is the CEO or the exporting team. Then when we have an interaction between the capability and the level of seniority of the CEO, then we yield positive results. When the CEO, when we look at it, the lenses of gender, we find that female CEOs they almost focus on the local market than the export market. And when we have an overconfident CEO, we can see that it's clear that it impacts export performance positively. So it's an interaction between the capabilities of the technology and also the capabilities of the managing team. So as a theoretical implication for this paper is it is important to not only look at the variable or the construct that we want to study alone, but it's very interesting to look at it in interacting with other variables or constructs in your model to see the full spectrum or the full view. As practical take, we can say that even though there is some information that we cannot have from empirical studies, or we cannot find, such as e-commerce capability for our case, that we cannot, if you don't conduct a survey to have this kind of information, you cannot have it unless you little bit innovate in your methodology to capture such information. Thus, we did text mining for one construct as a dichotomous variable. If they speak about, yes, we export in e-commerce, it's 1. And if it's not, then it's 0. And you have a construct and a variable for your empirical model. And also, this study is important to give an overview to design digitally enabled export strategies and looking to all the components of the company and not only the technology. So as conclusion, it is important to see other or to join two theories, not only one theory to study a topic in its full spectrum. In our case, we looked at the resource-based view and the UET or upper echelon theory to investigate for our study. And to expand the discussion also, if you find the literature is arguing or the literature is not sure that if technology yields positive or negative results on performance, we have to look at the interaction terms between many variables instead of the direct effect of this variable. So the study was not perfect, and we know that we only studied S&P 500's manufacturing firms, and we focused on US firms, which doesn't give an image of all exporting companies. But we guess we can improve it in the future by adding different industries. Instead of manufacturing industry, we can look at different industries and add more control variables, because we know in export, we look at a lot of variables in the financial side of the firm, but as well as the managerial side of the firm. So controlling more variables could help in this study. So this is the paper that was published. You can check it on the Journal of International Business and Entrepreneurship, and I would be happy to answer your questions.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Ilham. Okay, so anyway, we are going to have a Q&A session at the last moment. Next presentation is presentation number 4. Unfortunately, Dr. Melanie could not join in real time, so we are going to run the video clip of her presentation.
Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Wahiba Melawi from Algeria. I work as a strategy advisor at Algeria Telecom Satellite and Algerian Ministry of ICT. First of all, I would like to thank you for having me in the 13th GSDV. So today I will talk briefly about my research, which is about the job quality in gig economy. Platforms power versus workers' resistance strategies, the unheard voice of gig workers. Case of the Algerian ride-hailing platforms. The objective of this research is to bring a clearer picture of the mechanisms that rule job quality in the gig economy in order to allow better control over the phenomenon for both academicians as well as practitioners. So I will start with an introduction, and the second section I will present a systematic literature review. In the third section, I will present our empirical study, and we'll finish with general discussion and conclusion. I would like to precise that in today's presentation, I will focus only on key points of the research in line with the time limitation. Here we go. Although there is no generally accepted definition of the gig economy, the terminology is often used to refer to an economic system made up of platforms that operate online and leverage technology to construct multi-sided markets, linking employers with on-demand gig workers across many sectors. We have here some figures that show that the gig economy is growing very fast, with 17% of growth of the total gig economy transactions by 2023 and around 58% coming from transportation sector. Job quality is fundamentally important for work, policy discussion, and growth. Its improvement is included in debates around strengthening national competitiveness in order to increase engagement and productivity. However, there is a lack of robust conceptualization for both job quality and gig workers' voice in gig economy, which hinders policy initiatives to influence job quality, therefore to generate fair work. But why Algerian context? Actually, the Algerian context is well regulated, displaying a sophisticated labor law. The Algerian Labor Code aspires to guarantee the right to organize and unionize to all Algerian citizens. However, today's text mainly applies for employees. In fact, Algerian conventional employees enjoy the right to unionize, collective bargaining, and recourse to strike action and many other rights. Yet, ride-hailing drivers are not covered by the Algerian Labor Code, therefore not recognized yet by the Algerian authorities as workers nor freelancers. Yeah, while many people have opportunities through gig work, it's often associated with low quality job, with discriminatory or unjust practices, which calls to interrogate its long-term viability and the equity of its working conditions. In addition to that, the scope of the right to collective bargaining is generally restricted to conventional employees, while recommendations for improving work conditions revolve around the need to strengthen workers' representation and voice. Also, the opacity and lack of knowledge surrounding gig work hinder policy initiatives and challenge their ability to find the right formula to address this new fragmented, hybrid, and dynamic type of work. This lack of knowledge can be translated in several gaps, mainly the lack of robust conceptualization of both job quality and voice. So we move to our first study, which is an analytical approach for addressing the complexity and heterogeneity of job quality in gig economy using a systematic literature review. So our systematic literature review adapts the standardized methodology proposed by Okoli in 2015 to conduct a standalone systematic literature review. We started by identifying the purpose. Accordingly, we set preliminary research questions. Then we developed our research protocol and search query, and we identified and analyzed review articles. Afterward, we launched search on databases, and we performed the preliminary screening, followed by relevant screening, and we concluded the filtration phase by performing quality appraisal. 45 relevant articles were retained for this SLR. After that, we launched the data extraction, followed by its analysis, and accordingly, we discussed the results as well as the future research directions. As you can see in this slide, the SLR offered us to see the whole picture, including both types of forces, tangible or hidden, that interact to shape the job quality in the gig economy, performed by both sides, platforms and gig workers. Through performing our SLR, we were able to confirm the lack of concurrently exploring the mechanisms of both platforms' power and workers' resistance, therefore lacking a deep understanding of what shapes gig workers' voice among many other factors. Now we move to our empirical study, which is platforms' power versus gig workers' resistance strategies, the unheard voice of gig workers. So the aim of this empirical study is to reveal the interplay between platforms' power and gig workers' resistance in order to understand the mechanisms of ride-hailing drivers' voice. Okay, so a total of 339 responses were collected from Algerian ride-hailing drivers. For the analysis, our model passed all the required tests. We presented descriptive statistics, measurement model, structural model, as is shown in green table. Accordingly, we were able to perform an advanced testing of our model predictive power, as you can see from the blue table. And we also performed relationship testing starting with hypothesis testing, indirect effect, as well as total indirect effect, moderation effect, and control effect of dependence on platform, as well as drivers' work experience. All these results are combined and analyzed in order to answer our research questions. So the blue part in this table depicts the unique results quantitatively identified for the first time, and the red part represents the surprising results going against the literature, stipulating that workers' antagonisms and anger lead to collective voice. We've been able to explain these results where the driver's anger generated by platforms' decision and non-decision making power by means of unfair contract pay communication and algorithmic management is redirected away from the platforms by the force of the game and the ideology. Therefore, drivers are still angry, yet losing rationale to raise their voice against platforms. So the importance of our study resides in the fact that it shows the importance of the subtle powers that hide the real status of drivers' job quality, which mislead the policymakers' evaluation of the driver's job quality, therefore bias designing policies. So we move to the final part of this presentation, conclusion and implication. An interesting finding shows that the dynamicity and uncertainty characterizing the unfair contract pay communication and management can increase the dynamicity of the psychological contract life cycle, while platforms' ideological power operates in the opposite way. These findings open the door to potential extensions of psychological contract theory. Accordingly, further studies need to focus on the role of platform power in stimulating the entire psychological contract life cycle. Also, by decreasing the platform's ideological and manipulation powers, policymakers can decrease the driver's fake acceptance of platforms' unfairness, therefore, permit to face the real situation before it degenerates further. This action has not significant economic direct consequences. Instead, it will liberate drivers' muffled voices directly through strengthening their participation to collective action and indirectly through strengthening the communication among drivers. Indeed, the statistical results revealed the important mediating role of communication among drivers, leading to their participation in collective actions, and demonstrated that platforms' ideological power hinders this communication. Another segment of intervention is to enhance drivers' job quality through decreasing the decision and non-decision making power of platforms. Yet it is important here to be cautious, since enhancing workers' conditions may have a cost that needs to be considered, which requires advanced economic studies to ensure trade-off between enhancing job quality and keeping platform industry sustainable. Finally, our study is not exclusive to the Algerian context and may be applied to many other contexts, where regulation is not empowered or even does not take into consideration the effect of these subtle powers such as manipulation and ideology. So this is the end of my presentation. Thank you very much for listening.
Ms. Kamis from Tanzania, can you make a presentation first before Dr. Alamshed?
My name is Zubeda, and I am a PhD candidate at Seoul National University. And today I will present my progress research. It is still going on. The title of the role of digital platform for the case of Tanzania Government Electronic Payment Gateway. So in this study, we will talk about which factor facilitate the adoption of GEPG according to user satisfaction. And this one is adoption and user satisfaction integrated concept. And this is my outline. And for the introduction part, as we see, there is a lot of new technology which is undergoing in the world. And one of them is digital platform. And digital platform improve the service delivery ecosystem, which allow provider to rethink their business and provide better service to their customers. So digital platform can be categorized based on the use, like social media platform for communication, knowledge platform, service-oriented platform, and e-commerce platform. GEPG is one of the most recent example of service-oriented platform, which is implemented in Tanzania to facilitate and standardize government collection at a real time. GEPG started to be implemented in 2017 with only 7 government institutions participate as a pilot. And now in 2023, all public institutions, 28 commercial bank and 6 mobile money operators, they operate together to bring a good service to citizens. Tanzania government takes several efforts to facilitate the adoption of new technology implemented in Tanzania. One among its effort, we have established national ICT broadband infrastructure fiber optic backbone, which cover all governments, which connect all government office and other private office, and the goal of government to cover all world by 2026 and improve internet penetration to 8% by 2025. Although there is some effort taken by Tanzania government, as we see as other developing countries, there is some challenging for adoption of new technology. From the study of Vintage, we see that some of the adapted system in Africa fail after the implementation, although it shows good and positive adoption rate at the beginning, but after several times, users are not satisfied with that system because the system does not meet users' requirements. So this is a big challenge for African countries. And for Tanzania, we see the adoption of technology like e-payment are still in low rates. And also for the case of GEPG, there is study of Kishora and Barnaba show that there is a lack of awareness of citizens about GEPG and some security attack issue and lack of information sharing between the institutions. So in terms of literature review, there is a lot of research in Tanzania going on, but most of this study for GEPG focus on how GEPG are effective in revenue collection. But one study conducted the user satisfaction, but on the government side, but no study conducted to measure the user satisfaction, especially in the part of end user, because GEPG has 3 sides of user. There is a government institution, there is a bank and mobile money operator, which facilitate the payment process, and the end user who are paying for the service. So, so measuring the user satisfaction is important for system to be adapted and to be continued used by the users. So this study had the goal to investigate the end user acceptance of GEPG and examine the factors that facilitate the adoption and continue usage behavior according to user satisfaction. And our research question is, what is the key determinant that facilitated the adoption of GEPG in Tanzania? And for the methodology, we use structured question modeling for analysis, and we collect our data using interview in 4 regions of Tanzania. And we develop our model because we see that the big challenge is after the adoption, there is a challenge for users, either if they want to continue to use the system or they will abandon the system. So we develop our model by integrating three theories. The first is technology adoption model, because this model explains much variance in user behavior intention to adapt IT, and then UTAUs, because it includes external factors that facilitate the user to adapt ICT, and finally, updated the loan and MC loan success model, because it explains user intention, user satisfaction. So this is our final model, which include perceived usefulness, perceived ease of use, system quality, information quality, service quality, social influence, and facilitating condition. We assume this factor has a positive influence on intention to continue to use GEPG. So after develop our model, we conduct a model validation to see if our model can measure our research problem. And then we collect our data after model validation. And this is the result of our study. For the measurement model, as we see in the table, it shows that the internal indicator reliability, internal consistency reliability, convergent validity, and discriminant validity are achieved. And then we continue with our structure model. And first we tested for collinearity issues, and we found that there is no multicollinearity issues. And then we test our hypothesis. Hypothesis 1, hypothesis 3, 4, and hypothesis 6 and 7 are supported, and hypothesis 2 and hypothesis 5 are rejected. So we continue with model to investigate model explanatory power, and we found that this model has moderate explanatory power according to Hare et al. Studies, and then the model has high predictive power. So because our main goal is to investigate which factors are very important in the adoption of GEPG according to user satisfaction, we perform important performance map analysis, and we found that perceived usefulness has higher importance and performance, followed by facilitating condition and social influence. And then we found that system quality, information quality, perceived ease of use has high performance but has moderate importance. And finally, service quality has higher performance but low importance. So in conclusion, our study found that perceived usefulness, social influence, and facilitating condition are the key determinant factor that facilitated the adoption of GEPG platform in Tanzania. So we concluded that governments must consider this factor when implementing new service delivery platform in order for the citizen to adapt and continue to use the service so that the service cannot be abandoned by the citizen. And this is our recommendation because we found that perceived usefulness is very important factor for Tanzania case. So developer and policymaker should focus on enhancing perceived usefulness of the system so that to encourage user satisfaction and retention. And then in terms of facilitating condition, policymaker and system developer should consider resource available in a specific country that can be improve the adoption of the system and provide sustainable usage. And finally, managerial should facilitate and motivate users to adapt the use and by providing advertisement and promotion, because we found that social influence has big impact on the adoption of new technology. And this is the limitation of these studies. First, the model, we developed the model, but this model we test only using the data from GEPG. So this model can be tested by others using other systems. And also the study, we collect the data only for 4 regions of Tanzania. So more study can be done using other regions and other developing countries which have similar environment like Tanzania. And finally, since the adoption of GEPG has only 7 years, so this model can be tested again after several years of GEPG use. So thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kamis. Okay, now Dr. Alamshed, you think you okay? You ready?
Yes, on this importance of the digital literacy, we have reviewed the Ethiopian context. So in Ethiopia, even if there is high or increasing investment in ICT, and also the global pandemic disrupted the education and the labor market. On the other hand, digital revolution has been established. This in Ethiopia was the reverse one. So these hackers were unable to use any of the virtual modalities to transform their educational perspective. Therefore, this study was aimed to analyze the impact of the literacy and certification indicators, ICT or reference areas. we raised 3 questions. What are the impacts of digital literacy and social literacy on educators' intention to accept ICT? And do the term variables has total impact on their organization? And if so, the model, the external model, have impact on determine educators' acceptance. So we reviewed the literature and we developed 11 hypotheses, especially these hypotheses are integrated to the existing model. 6 hypotheses are added. So we conducted research online survey method on technical data, and also we found finally 255 responses. And we used this to analyze our result and the model as the existing model. This is our model extended with the external variables, efficiency and efficiency. So we measured using this element items to analyze our different variables. Then here are our respondents, script statistics. Majority of them are 42 years old and 90% are degree and master holders. Then we analyzed our measurement items before we conduct our hypothesis. Then our result indicated that all the measurement items fulfill the reality and validity standards. And also we conducted discriminant validity to make sure that any latent variable construct is different or distinctly different from each other and confirm that they are totally different. Then we conducted hypothesis testing. For that, we conducted linearity issues using various inflation factor, and we found that our result has no linearity issues. And we found that all the 11 hypotheses are positive, especially the new integrated construct, accuracy, and certificacy have positive impact on the evaluation, perception of fairness, and perception of equality. And also the existing model has positive impact on determining indicators attitude, perception of usefulness, and perception or intention to accept ICT. This is our KSM result and our model predictors for the 21st target for determining or reading the factors as trans. So, without application, the external variables that we added, given literacy has multiple data that takes the validation and it is and indicators perception of usefulness and perception of ethics. So data literacy has the strongest predictor of indicator. This implies that data literacy has multiple or multifaceted impact on user acceptance of ICT for their education, for teaching and learning. And also certificacy has positive impact on their intention as well as perception of usefulness and perception of ethics. So certificate has also paramount effect on educators' ICT acceptance behavior. This implies that developing educator certificacy can enhance ICT acceptance. And so we found that the existing term model variables has positive impact, that is enhancing perception of educators towards the use of ICT for their teaching purpose can change the mindsets of the educators. That means it is important to enhance the perception of educators towards ICT by showing the practical and different demonstration programs and efforts. Including the practical implication of our study is the term model is significantly extended using 6 new relations, using digital literacy and certificacy. And so the extended model can adequately predict educators' acceptance, and also the term model enhanced. As you can see here, a daily analytics study conducted was 34 indicators shows that the ability for x100 power was a 751, but this one is 48, so it is enhanced totally. So, in summary, this is idea's fundamental application for policymakers, institutional leaders, and academic and developing countries to redesign indicators, digital literacy, and self-efficacy enhancement programs and strategies. It's important to incorporate digital literacy and self-efficacy as a vital component of educator development curriculums. This can lead to enhanced digital transformation of education, particularly in the trade context in developing countries. So that's all. Thank you so much. Sorry for the interruption.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Alamshed. Yes, we had some difficulties of hearing the voice, but somehow we could understand by the text of presentation. Now I'm going to open to the floor. If you have any question to any presenters, please feel free to ask questions. Okay, now Dr. Widyarthar, I have one quick question about, it was very nice presentation, using AI recognize their plate and the face. So the recognition quality have increased, right?
Yes, Professor.
Now, the increased quality of the recognition of face and plate, what those things help for improving something such as safety, security, or any crime rate on campus. Did you find any outcome of those technology, or you are planning to find some impact of those AI recognition?
Yes, Professor. So, in my case, this is ongoing research. My outcome in this stage, we can recognize face of a driver using helmet and recognize plate license of the motorcycle. So we will combine to this outcome to be a pass for the driver, for the student go out from the campus. So by this system, the security guard no need to recognize all of student and his motorcycle, because it's impossible, I think.
Right. Yeah, so it is very nice research, I think, and technology. So in my opinion, if you can add whether that technology can increase the efficiency of the campus, security of the campus, or safety, any decrease in crime rate, any safety perception of other students and things like that. If you can find those outcome of the technology, I think this research will be very good. I mean, it's going to be perfect in a sense. So that's my question, and that was my comments and so on. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Professor.
Okay. Now, any other question or comment for each other? No, it's time to take a break. Now, okay, I'd like to have a general comment about a couple of general comments about this research dissertation session. So this dissertation session is not the industry report, but it is purely academic papers. Okay, but even though it is academic papers, as Dr. Widyart did, we need some practical implications. Okay, so balance between academic contents and practical contents is, I think, very important, especially for our ITPP and ITTP. Okay, so but and then plus we need to make a kind of make clear about the contribution of your paper compared to the previous literature. So like academic contribution plus some practical contribution should be clarified and make it included more in detail. That would be great. And then many people did, but the future studies and limitation would be very important for understanding the future direction of the paper and the big picture of the paper. Lastly, because of we belong to international community, so our researchers and students, they use many cases their country's data, right, for your analysis. In that case, you need to justify the importance and differentiation of your data from other data from developed countries such as the US and UK and Europe, other countries. Okay, so if you can justify the importance of your country's data, then it is going to increase the possibility of a publication and plus a contribution to the academia and the industry. Okay, so that is those are my general comments for the session. But I'm really impressed and I really appreciate your time and presentation. Again, let's make a big round of applause to all the presenters. Thank you.